Mike V Power Hour. You know, I saw this GFI. I don't know what to do with the golds. All I know is, and by the way, thank you for everybody tuning in. So many people in the room, and I really appreciate the professionalism. Everybody is staying within their style. We're no longer, at least if you think so, going through the Fast and Furious stage. It's, I consider it like this. Okay, you walk into a bar. Okay, the markets are all a bunch of different spirits, if you will. You have alcohol, you have liquor, you have wine, you could do shots, you could do cocktails, you could do coffee. You know what I mean? Just because you're in the bar and you trade, for example, just commodities or oil, doesn't mean you have to be a madman and take all the tequila shots there, because you don't. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a good analogy. You get the picture. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Avago was pure. The stocks from a couple of days ago. Okay, stock is pure. Okay, stocks stay hot. All right, no matter what we're going to talk from no matter what level trade you are. Avago had numbers. Okay, Friday. You please have to know that. You know what? And if you didn't, you could actually look what something was up the last couple of days. And that's the volume was either had earnings or the market was very volatile. It happened to be both. Okay, Avago had earnings, all right? Everything you want to see, all right? A huge market cap stock, held appropriately, held all the moving averages with volume, taking out range, and basically acting how you wanted to. And the same with Marvell. I said I failed you on Marvell. Marvell had earnings, all right? They could have this is the day before earnings. They could have really hit Marvell hard and put this thing in a different category and probably put it down for the count for like a year or some time if it didn't recover. But no matter what the stock, and I really shouldn't say no matter what the stock, because this was relevant and it does trade with a group like the semis, if you will. But there was yesterday's close, all right? 84.63. There was the plan. All right, it held it perfectly. There it is. All right, now it's pulling something similar to an Avago. Marvell, another one. HIMS. You can never have it when you want. That was a fade on the open. We'll talk about what's taking calls. HYPE. There you go. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I want to get it. Listen, I want to be on the main screen too. I want to trade. All right. I'd be remiss if I didn't go through the basic fundamentals. And you go to the Mike V room, and that's going from Sunday evening to Monday. All right. Always click images to enlarge. This is the plan, catalyst, earnings, stock sectors and groups, the sectors by relative strength. Everybody knows what's going on with crude, bunching things up like where the Dow stocks sit in terms of moving averages. Listen, I'm not doing it just for fluff. I could be posting, literally clicking all day long, like an algo. Things that I think are relevant throughout the week. There's the VIX, top IBD 50 stocks, fear and greed index, panic index, upgrades and downgrades. You get the picture, everyone. Hugo, juice. You're right near the Meadowlands, right? I grew up on Long Island. I'm up in upstate New York, Saratoga Springs. You're right near the Meadowlands. I grew up. You too, Miss Sherry. You got to be careful what you say on. I think you got a thick skin. I've seen your Twitter feed. I know you're, well, I'm not going to give too much away sharing, but when I say something like, where am I? Like sleeping on Lewis's couch, people could be like, "Well, what are you thinking? I'm not good enough to pay for my own hotel," or what does that imply? Like, I'm looking to sleep. You know what I mean? I was making it more of a fact that you would show up at Lewis's door uncomfortable and saying, "I'm here." Lewis had to accommodate all of us, so it wasn't anything like that. You didn't allude to it, but you never know these days. You know what I mean? I have no idea the next freaking thing that's going to come out of my mouth. North Wyckoff off of Route 208. Okay, you go. No problem. You're in the right area. You know what they say about people in New Jersey? Those are the ones that can't afford to live in New York. No, I'm only getting older. Yeah. Just joking, you go. We're going to get you freaking in Long Island, believe me, very soon. The way you. All right. AMPX Pure. Everybody, I know you are. You're still going to be. Listen, this place is like Hotel California. All right. You can sign out, but you can really never leave. That's why you're here. You go. You guys are all right. Okay, let's get into earnings. I'm gonna punch up the chart. I'm trying not to look at quotes so I don't get distracted. What's taking, and I'm gonna show a picture of my notebook. My notebook. My God, my old. All right, calls, pure, iron. And by the way, if from what I remember, and I'll take my face off the screen, most of these stocks have held the moving averages. All right, what was the first? And they took a lot of video. Get out of here. I'll take the video off. And they held, right? So what's pure? Hell out of here. Here we go. Iron. Okay. Iron looks similar to an Avago, where it felt like it held that 200-day moving average. Obviously, Avago's in a better trend. Iron calls. Notice they're taking the best of breeds one, outside of SMAR. APLD, they're trying to find the base. Mara, where's J-Norm? Mara trying to find the base. That's making a higher low. That has calls. That's good. NVIDIA goes without saying. IBIT, NBIS, Fugo for you. That one held another one. All right. Now, listen, this is going to be range bound until something breaks. And as we go, these little triangles are getting a little bit narrower, but they all have one thing in common. When people are going to stick their neck out and they're taking calls, they're buying right now the proverbial best. I don't see anybody going into Kava. Nobody's going in there and stepping into PGY. You know what I mean? They're going to iron. They're going to hymns. They're going into. What's been taking a lot of calls the past 3-4 days? ACHR. By the way, everyone here, I know it's not the best of plays. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to have to put the video on. If you see me back on the right corner for the sincerity of ACHR. Come on. I know that this is top. This is something, we don't see your screen if you're showing it. Can you see my charts now? Thank you for telling me. You see the charts? Right. You should see the chart of ACHR. Bottom line is calls. Look at J-Norm. He shows up right at the J-Norm shows up, doesn't even go in the room anymore. She thinks I'm like Phil Donahue. At 8:30, like every day at 3:00 Eastern, he puts me on and trying to get entertained. J-Norm, we need you. What's those freaking ideas? All right, good. ACHR, taking calls. Interesting, by the way. And you know what? I had RCAT overnight. I actually sold that well. And look at the range in that thing again. My God, look at this 1385. It's near the low. All right, calls. SMAR, I brought that up. AMPX is as pure as they come. And I'm going to tell you something with this thing. I've seen a lot of things. Well, it's no surprise. And, I think J-Norm even brought this up to me. I apologize, Jane, Brownie Elf, but the doctors. I didn't mean they're not sincere. I hope you got a laugh at it. I compared myself to Phil Donahue. Only me and you know who that is. It was before Juice was even born. Probably before even New Jersey was discovered. All right, Jane, you're excused. All right. You know what they're building? Okay. You know what the boys are building? If you've been here long enough, I don't have to extrapolate. I'm going to take off the picture. Get to know it. Something's up. Something's up. VKTX. Now, if hymns could do that, it's in the same church, different pew with these, all these GLP ones, whatever they are. VKTX above the gap, right sector. It's got it in it. This is something up here. You know what? We got a clean bill of health today. Excited. Nice, Jane. Nice job, man. Do you know people think I'm crazy? I'm not crazy. I went to Catholic school from kindergarten all the way. I went to a Catholic college, and it's not like I'm not pontificating about Catholic. Care less. Believe me. Every time I hear a siren, I bless myself automatically because of Mrs. Johnson. She screwed me to a degree. It's ingrained in my head. Whenever we would hear a siren, it's not like I grew up in New York City, but Long Island. She'd stop everybody and say, "Someone needs a prayer right now." And to this day, freaking 43 years later, she's right. You can't argue it. So whenever I hear a siren, I bless myself. Believe me, it's taxing. I digress. Glad to clean bill of health, man. The big freak. We need you. Now you have no excuse not to be on here all the time. That's the bottom line. Okay. What does this mean? I know what it means. And our sunrise trader needs no introduction. The VIX 2722. Sectors from 11 S&P, 3 are green, and noted that XLK technology is on the list. All right. So the world, can you say on over the weekend, there was no good news to abate the selling. Now it seems like there's no bad news to exacerbate the selling. Pardon me. That makes sense? Frank, lose this guy. Frank Capillari, another attack. Well, you know what the amazing thing is? Walter Deemer, by the way, nothing to shake a stick at. We all know, but he's reposting Frank Capillari. What's with all these Italians in the certified market technicians? I'm the only one that's not certified in Italian. Everybody, literally. Mike Zaccardi, the freaking other guy that's big. Connor Bates, no. Okay, you ready? Let's get to it. We're gonna go to the screen. We're gonna fire away. Thank you for everybody again. Hype, another one of those good. Smart. Let's see what I think I might have too much Smart. The Smart taking all those. Riven does look good. Riven, you know why Riven looks good? Because I've been watching it more than I should. It's acting very, 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 very well. Very well. Okay, let's go. Let's get into some earnings. You know what? Let me finish with earnings. What is earnings in the morning? Okay. HPE. Not interested. VOYG. Sexy IPO. This could go anywhere. That is earnings in the morning. Not interested. Guys, any questions? Let me go. I can do both. It's in the corner of my eye. I'm just going through earnings. Before the open, NIO. You know what acting well out of nowhere this bastard? XPEV. How the hell did this happen? Thinking of XPED, that's why everybody would know that if I see NIO as earnings, I say, whoa, what's that doing? XPEV, Coles, UNFI. Where's BGS, by the way? BGS, that was, you see this BGS? This is what, if I was investor relations, I would have announced this BGS news like 2 weeks ago. This thing would have been a 10. They're late to the freaking cyclical curve. The guy in investor relations regarding news should be fired. He should be a trader and know what's up. Time the freaking thing. Okay, here we go. You ready? Okay. There's my share I bought. Smart. By 6,000 more. Smart the market. Core. AMDL. I freaking messed that up. APLD. MP. Only one in the country. See this MP? Open. I'm the only one in the. Oh, it felt like I was the only one in the country buying MP. There's me buying MP 57.70. Now it's got the reversal to the 200-day. There's my trade right here. Messing around with MP. Let's go to calls. Don't care about what I'm doing here. Let's go back with the calls and then the calls. Let me show you the Jesus feed. Okay. I'm updating here. The same thing I did when I'm signing on. I have been signed on. Okay, update. Sweepers mixed as action starts to pick up a bit in the power hour. Signal's been laying around all afternoon, both credit and volume not doing much. And by the way, when volume is not doing much, that means the VIX is pulling back. That's good. AMPX. No matter what time frame, something's up with this thing. More. AMPX repeat activity, July. What month is this? You got it. Lily taking calls. That's why I'm in Viking Therapeutics. Anyone, any questions? I'm going to go here. Oh, look at this. Trump said the war should be over soon. Oh my God, here it is. They're freaking dying now. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at the futures of Britain. All right, I got to go now. Trump said, let me go. Gotta go. Cheers.